I've shared with you some very personal experiences of mine, how I felt harassed, berated, and I filed a suit regarding this treatment, and I made some parallels to the Nazi regime. I've done this with my art because it was very personal to me. Well, when we speak of personal things, what often happens is, come here please, the wheels come off the wagon. As I had mentioned earlier, they had the Nuremberg trials, and then some guys went after the Nazis personally, and consequently, they poisoned them. Now we're going to, it gets very personal, and the wheels come off. So I'm doing artwork to show their spewing of the vomit. Now we're making that nicer. Oh, that's awesome. And how that happened in the previous segment. We're concluding this in a fun way with the artwork. That's a killer boot, huh? And we're showing now how to correct the situation. As I've spoken about these folks, come clear, well, these folks who I felt inflicted an indignity and it was very personal, come to me. I'm trying to find a positive resolve to not only encourage better treatment and civility and kindness, and I found that through acknowledgement is the best way, and through art. This is an art project. Now, this is an interesting thing, Jedi mind tricks. And incidentally, one of the people who I found to be a French coolie bully, come to me, has the nickname Jedi mind tricker, and he knows it. Now, if you look at the way the Nazis, once again, handle themselves, they take great pride. They took great pride. There was like the butcher of Belsen, of Bergen-Belsen, like the angel of death, the Mengeles, and they've seen this in Inglourious Basterds, the film. They took great pride in their nicknames because, you know, well, they felt they were doing a noble thing. Well, I found this to be a systemic abusive situation where one of the guys was actually impugning character. And as I referenced before, let's go to here, to the capo, let's paint it up, to the capo over here, who was, you know, the bad guard, was in on it. Well, they were all in on it, and that resulted in this physical abuse that I experienced, and very blue, maybe very blue, and come here. So this is the idea of a Jedi mind trick. Now this guy knows it's his nickname, and we can't have that. And I've made this interactive artwork because I found him to be a prick, so it's very prickly there, it's a screen. And, you know, it's a passive-aggressive way of playing mind games, and come to me. And this is cyberbullying, this is bullying. And I have found that the way to address it is to call them out and say, do you like that? Come to this image. That's what they did here. They said they called them out. They said, we got to finish the painting. They said, do you like that? You see that? And then, of course, they dealt with the emotions. And over here, well, you got the whole Nazi picture here. Here is not nice. Now, incidentally, we're talking about nice treatment. So I'm going to nice France to encourage this niceness. And the theme is nice in Nice. Now, I know it's called Nice. I say nice. I've been there half a dozen times from my 20s to my 40s. It's time to go back. I'm in my 50s. So we're going to explore this idea of the Jedi mind trick. This is a passive aggressive, I've done this before, and that's how they operate. You see, this way they avoid any accountability. They're weasels. They weasel out of the accountability based on a caveat of, oh, I'm just joking. But you see, it's a sped arrow. It's the shot from the gun. You can't take it back. And there's a whole rule of, so the way this thing works, we show how these guys operate. They suck you in with the Jedi mind trick of niceness, complacency, kindness, and then they freaking whack you. And that's a passive aggressive, and that is a type of cruelty that I won't have. So, what we're doing here is very personal. You see, I am speaking of evil. And these are Nazi tricks of hampering others for their own personal gain. And what does that bring? It brings a bunny boiler. Now I'm trying to be well-balanced and emotionally stable and find this artistic approach to avoid the bunny boiler situation that we had here. Now, why am I so upset? Because it was very personal. In this image, we see me, Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky, And this is the PTSD effect, where I found it to be not only a civil rights case of harassment, but culturally and ethically unfair to be tricked every day. And you see, this is a kind of a thing where they had the chance to do right, but chose to do wrong for their own benefit. Now, the question, come to me, is whether or not we will find accountability through the higher road. I fear that it's going to be a battle of he's our thug and this kind of thing. That's like kind of a ransom note. That's why I like it. And if it goes that way, come to me. Sorry. My assistant Pa, who's a videographer, was just shot Heidi Klum, and now he's filming my ugly ass. In conclusion, we're going to finish these paintings with some fun. So, Jesus, you can't do this. So what we're going to do now is finish these paintings with the hopes of creating beauty. So we've done a few. You can see there how we're going to do them. Now, as I mentioned, let's get a close up here. So this, this lady was really bad, and she took such gleeful delight. And when you experience that, then you know it's systemic. So you see, now we just kind of finished that up. It's like the little painting guy on TV, but different. And then like that, we had a little sky there maybe later. And these guys, they got attacked in such a bad way. And that wasn't very nice. And I felt attacked in a very sad way. And of course, we come over here. It all comes back to a system that made perfect sense to these sons of bitches. But we can't have that now. We gotta try and build these paintings up nice. So right now it's swim week. Last video we did, it was models volleyball. And I'm stuck inside, and this sucks for me. I don't like to be stuck inside doing this shit. So I'll have a little fun here, and we'll finish this little monkey show. So, this is, what I'd like to do is play tennis and golf and have a nice life. But unfortunately, so come over here, and now we're gonna make an interactive art piece, because it's about abuse. Now, we can't have it. And this is a really sad picture, again. But that was normal to this Nazi guy. It was an old lady. Who does that? Come to me. Who does that? Well, any dyslexics, and you'll see in my suit, they try and defend, and you can defend this. You are free in America to mock dyslexics. Of course you are. We have that freedom. But when you're mocking dyslexics for an ulterior motive of making them acquiescent, of berating them to the point where you make them subjective and become you are subservient to them, and they're imposing their will. This is called psychological warfare, my friends. This is what people do when they want to win the hearts and minds. However, this is done in the contrary, to destroy the hearts and minds. Well, this guy fucked with me pretty good. So, what we're going to do here, we'll do a little backhand. So let's see how we can finish these paintings and get back to a nice life. Oh, now that's a new sport I've just developed. It's a mixture of squash and tennis. If you notice, I have a small old racket and a tennis ball for a dog. It's a little larger than a squash ball, and you saw the interaction. I'm not going to play, well, maybe just one more. That was backhand. So come on, we've got a forehand shot. So I've never done this before, but I think we may be onto something here. See how cool that is? So anyway, so that's how we're going to paint this shit. Now come along here, we'll finish with a little golf, and we'll get some impressions. I don't know, what I'm trying to do here is I got a vintage hickory stick with a lot of loft, and one of these crazy tennis balls. So my intent is to close the face. No, I guess I don't know, I'll just chip it out there. No, I'll pitch it. So that would be kind of fun. See? Where we could paint like that and it would be a lot of fun. There's a lot of pitching here. So you see how that is? Why don't you film the images while we get the impact of the pitch? So that's the idea. Oh, Paul was pissed off. Shots fired, you see? Now, he didn't see that coming. And I used a hand wedge, I didn't chip it. And he jumped back. Well, you see, when people are in their comfort zone and they're not expecting it, and they're tricked, they become hurt. And Pav was very upset there. I felt that. I was like, what the fuck was that ball? So we can't behave that way. And I apologize, Pav. That was a little craziness. We want good craziness. Thank you.